When men cross the milestone of 60, something powerful happens inside them, often quietly, almost invisibly. They begin to think their best years are behind them, that slowing down is natural, that weakness is inevitable, that intimacy will no longer be as fulfilling as it once was. They believe the calendar decides their strength, their vitality, and their confidence. But the truth is, what they eat and how they nourish their body has more control over their future than the number written on their birth certificate. Just 3 simple foods, taken with consistency, can completely rewire the way they feel about their energy, their health, and even their presence in the bedroom. These foods are not exotic, not expensive, not locked away behind prescriptions or fancy bottles. They are everyday foods with extraordinary effects, and the habit of making them part of a daily routine can unlock a second spring of life, one that feels like turning back the clock. Imagine waking up with energy that does not fade by midday. Imagine walking with a steady step, a strong back, and a clear head. Imagine being able to engage fully in life without the fog of fatigue or the weight of self-doubt. This is not a dream reserved for the young. This is the promise that nutrition gives to those who are willing to commit to it. When you take these foods daily, you are not just filling your stomach, you are sending messages to your body. Messages that say build muscle, repair cells, balance hormones, open blood vessels, sharpen the mind. Your body is always listening to what you feed it, and when you feed it right, it rewards you with vitality that feels almost miraculous. These foods begin to rebuild what years of neglect, stress, and processed meals may have worn down. The muscles that once shrank begin to hold shape again. The blood that once struggled to circulate flows more freely. The hormones that once dropped begin to rise, not artificially, but naturally, as your body remembers its own blueprint. And with these changes comes something men rarely speak about, but secretly crave: confidence. Confidence to walk into any room and not feel invisible. Confidence to enjoy intimacy with the same fire as years before. Confidence to know that 60 is not the end of strength, but the beginning of a renewed one. When you eat these 3 foods consistently, you are no longer fighting your age. You are working with your biology. You are aligning with the natural rhythms your body was designed to follow. It is not about dieting or restriction. It is about restoration. Restoration of energy that helps you get through the day without dragging your feet. Restoration of stamina that allows you to climb stairs without heavy breathing. Restoration of drive that makes you feel alive in every sense of the word. Each bite is not just food. It is fuel for masculinity, for vitality, for the spark that keeps you feeling relevant and strong. Think of the small habit of including these foods as a daily ritual, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. It does not require hours in the gym. It does not demand expensive supplements. It does not depend on a doctor's prescription. It is simply a choice to feed your body with tools of strength instead of weights of weakness. Over time, these choices add up. One meal, one day, 1 week, 1 month, and then you notice the difference. The mirror shows a firmer frame, the mornings feel lighter, the mind feels sharper, the nights feel more satisfying. What once felt like a slow decline begins to feel like a steady rise. Your body is an incredible machine, even at 60 and beyond. It responds quickly when treated right. Muscles adapt, blood vessels relax, hormones rise to balance, sleep deepens, energy surges. And when energy surges, everything in life feels more possible. You want to move more, live more, love more. You want to connect with your partner in ways that remind you of who you were years ago, except this time with the wisdom that only age can bring. The daily act of choosing these 3 foods is not small, it is monumental. It is an act of rebellion against the story that aging has to mean decline. There will be people who say that at 60, it is too late, that the body is too old to rebuild, that desire fades naturally, that muscle loss is permanent. They will tell you to accept weakness, to surrender energy, to let go of confidence. but they are wrong. The evidence is in every man who decides to change his habits and suddenly feels decades younger. The evidence is in every meal that replaces processed emptiness with nutrient-rich power. The evidence is in every morning you wake up after weeks of consistent nourishment and realize your body is still capable of remarkable transformation. It is not about trying to be 20 again. It is about being the strongest, healthiest, most confident version of yourself right now. Age is not the enemy, neglect is, and the cure for neglect is simple. It starts in the kitchen. It starts with 3 foods chosen wisely. It starts with the courage to believe that your future can be brighter, stronger, more fulfilling than your past. Consistency is the secret. Anyone can try a food for a day, anyone can make a promise for a week, but the men who truly transform, the men who truly feel the fire return, are the men who keep going. Every day, every meal, they send their body the same message: build, repair, strengthen. And with each passing week, the body listens more closely, responds more strongly, and rewards more generously. What makes this daily habit so powerful is not just the physical change, but the emotional one. When you feel stronger, your mind changes. You no longer see yourself as old, frail, forgotten. You see yourself as capable, alive, attractive, worthy. That shift alone is priceless, because once you believe in your own vitality, you act differently. You carry yourself taller, you speak with more authority, you engage with your partner with more passion. You live not as a man waiting for decline, but as a man claiming his power. This is not theory, this is reality. 3 simple foods, taken daily, can become the foundation of a new life. A life where mornings are filled with energy, days are productive, nights are restful, and intimacy is vibrant. A life where 60 does not mean the slowing down of a man, but the rising up of one. A life where you look in the mirror and no longer see time as an enemy but as a witness to your strength.